Tini Krogiers, and I'm the Gaia Information Coordinator. And while you're running to the Gaia archive, sending your queries and waiting for results, I will quickly show you what kind of community resources there are for Gaia and where to find some important information. First of all, it's important to realize that we have 3 channels to serve information. There's the Gaia archive. You use that to get your data and search through the catalog. And then we have the Gaia users portal. This is the location where you go to get help and to understand how to extract the data, but also understand how the data was produced. It will also be the location that you will be sent to when you want to create a Gaia user account. At last, we have the Gaia mission portal. This is we refer to as Gaia Cosmos. It's a location that you go to get information on the Gaia mission, but also on the data releases. Now I'll run you through the different websites and I'll show you where to find the most important information on community resources on each of the websites so that you can find your way to the information. First of all, we start with Gaia Archive. So most of you know this webpage very well. You use it to search through the data. If you have been accessing the data programmatically, maybe you haven't seen it, so then quickly I'll show you here. You can download the data, the full catalog with the button here, and then here you can click to search for the data, or here. If you want to go to the Gaia mission portal where you have information on the data releases and on the Gaia mission, you click here. But if you want to go to the Gaia users portal where you can find some information on how the data was produced, but also if you need help extracting the data, you click either here on the tab here, documentation, or here on the button help, which will bring you to the help area. I'm gonna click here now, and then you'll arrive here. This is a page where you find all the relevant links that bring you to either help, like demos and tutorials, or documentation, or some other material. First of all, we have here a full list of demos and tutorials, which will lead you to separate pages on them. So there's information on how to write queries and how to extract the data and some more. I would also like to draw your attention here to this part here, the data credits and license. Please follow the guidelines that are given there. For each Gaia data list, there's separate guidelines. It's actually quite useful for us if you have a reference in your paper, because it allows us to find your paper, which we are actually interested in. But also, if you follow the guidelines, you actually give credit to the amount of people, to the huge group of people, the Gaia Consortium, that have been working very hard to create this catalog for you. Then, if you still have some questions or you were looking for different type of questions, you can also go to the frequently asked questions by clicking here. It will bring you to the frequently asked questions page. There's a lot of questions here that you can scroll through. And if you want to have a look at one of them, you just go there and you click on it and you can read the information. Now we'll go back to the help page. You can find here, next to information on help and tutorials, you can also find the information on how to understand the data. So how was it created when it was coming down from the spacecraft and then turned into a catalog. We have described this process in the data release documentation. You can find it here either online or with a downloadable PDF. It's quite extensive and has a lot of information in it. If you're wondering how we did something, you just I would advise you to just go, maybe grab the PDF and perform a search through the PDF, and probably if you do so, your answer is already in there. Then if you haven't found information, your answer to all of these things you were thinking of, you can always contact us through the Gaia Help Desk. Just click here and you will find information on how to contact us, and we will help you out with your question. Next to the Gaia data release documentation, we have also some extra information that comes along with it. These pages are actually located on the Gaia mission portal. So if we click here, for example, on the Gaia Data Release 3 overview page, early Data Release 3 overview page, we will arrive here. As you can see, I'm actually taping this a few days before the release because at this very moment, I'm very busy making a lot of these pages public to you. On the Gaia Early Data Release 3 overview page, you can find a lot of information that may be relevant for you. You can find your way back to the help and tutorials. You can find your way to information on ADQL queries and Python access, and to the data release documentation, as I've shown you before on the help pages. But also you can find your way to the Gaia EDR3 papers. So complementary to the Gaia data release documentation, we have a set of processing papers that describe the processing that has been done. The links to all of these papers will be provided on this web page, and they still need to be added now. They're still coming online at the moment, so you will find it here. Please also pay attention to these statements here, accompanying source code. So some of these papers, they have some source code that comes along with it. You can find it through here, Gaia EDR3 Python code. It's actually already live. You can download it, look at the description here, and you can download it from GitLab or GitHub. Also from the Gaia EDR3 overview page, I'll go back there, you can find more information on the known issues. So I will quickly bring you to this page. Let me type it. So this page gives you information on known issues that we find after we have already finished the Gaia data release documentation and the papers. So if we find an issue that it's worth describing to you and that might be very useful for you to know, we put it on this web page, and as you see, there's already one of them there. So please have a look at it and check it out. Then at last, there's also another important thing that you might want to know. There's also a link to the Gaia EDR3 passbands here. If you click that, you will find information on the Gaia EDR3 photometric system that is in place for the catalog. Then let's go back to the home. So here we are at the home. So if you are interested to hear more about the other releases, then you can find information through here. So each of the releases has an overview page and a lot of sub-pages with information. If you're interested to learn more about the future data releases, go to the data release schedule, which will give you some information there. Then also, while the Gaia data is being processed in the first pipelines, sometimes we find that some objects might be very interesting for the community to know about, and then we publish them to you through these Gaia Alerts. We have, for example, the Gaia Photometric Science Alerts, which provide you with information on, for example, if we find supernovae or microlensing events, and if we think we have found a very interesting solar system object, you can follow up on that through the Gaia follow-up network for solar system objects. If you have questions or you want to go to the Gaia archive help, you can go to that from here. So you can go here to the Gaia help, but you can also go to the help desk here. The Gaia help desk can actually be reached either by email or by raising a ticket in a ticketing system. There's also some frequently asked questions on the Gaia mission, and also the frequently asked questions that I showed you before on the Gaia archive and the data. If you do not have time to follow up on all of that, on the news that we publish on our homepage, for example, here, and you do not have time to keep track of all these web pages here, and to see if there's updates in there, you might consider signing up to our Gaia newsletter, which is available here. If you sign up, you will get not too often an email in your inbox with a compilation of the news of the past period, but also some updates, like announcement of the updates on the data list pages. So it's the best way to keep fully up to date if you don't have time to follow up on the websites themselves. The contents of the newsletter is also published online here, as you can find here. So you can always read back if you don't want to sign up as well. So I think with this, you have all the information you need to start off working with the data. I'll go back now to my slides. So as a recap, so we have 3 channels. There's three important web pages: the Gaia archive to get the data, the Gaia users portal to get your help on how to get the data or to understand the data, and the Gaia mission portal to get the info. So thanks and keep posted, and good luck with all your queries of the data.